Hey y'all, thank you for joining me today. Um, I'm just so thankful that everybody takes the time to watch and listen, and I really hope that this helps you. So today I'm going to be reading from Matthew chapter 25, and I'm going to read quite a bit more scripture than I usually do just because it's that important. So I'm in chapter 25, and we're going to read the parable of the wise and the foolish virgins. All right, let's get started. Then the kingdom of heaven shall be likened to 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. Now 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. Those who were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. But while the bridegroom was delayed, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight a cry was heard, Behold, the bridegroom is coming, go out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said to the wise, Give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out. But the wise answered, saying, No, lest there should not be enough for us and you. But go rather to those who sell and buy for yourselves. While they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went in with him to the wedding, and the door was shut. Afterward, the other virgins came also, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Assuredly I say to you, I do not know you. Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour in which the Son of Man is coming. And that's really something to think about. Are you ready? Are you ready? We always hear about Jesus coming back, and I really believe that we have heard it so much that we don't even take it seriously anymore. Like, honest to God, even Christians, we're like, oh, we know it's true. We know he's coming back. Oh, the sign of the times and all this other stuff. But do we really believe it? I mean, if we did, we would act a lot different. Even myself, like the Lord whipped my butt about something this morning, and but do we really believe it? Do we believe it? We try so hard to show the fruit and be the good Christian, but it's what's in here that he's going to look at. You know, you can do all the things, but if your heart's not right, then it doesn't really matter. But are you prepared? Nobody wants to go. Nobody wants to leave their family and leave their kids and leave the hope and possibilities of all the good things in the future. But if he came right now, and we talk about Jesus's return all the time, and one thing that kind of bugs me is we focus on that, but we don't focus on you could die within the next couple of minutes. You could have a stroke. You could have a heart attack. You could have a car accident. It could be a freak accident. Like, I live next to an airport. A plane could drop on my house at any minute, and I could die just like that. I mean, that sounds quite extravagant, but y'all, those things really do happen. I mean, we'll watch the news and be like, oh, it's the sign of the end times. Look at all this stuff happening. But it's in 20 states away. It could happen right here too. Like right at my house, right at your house. But anyways, so that's just something to think about. I think we need to really pay attention to that, because yes, Jesus is coming back. He could come back at this very second, and we need to be asking ourselves, are we prepared? But you could meet him right this second, whether he comes back down here or not. So anyways, but watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour in which the Son of Man is coming. Y'all, we don't know. Stop getting all hyped up on the news. And these preppers, it kills me. Like, I get it. The world is bad. And you want to be prepared for a worst case scenario. But I don't think spending your life savings to make a bunker and buy a bunch of MREs is going to make a difference. I really don't. Nobody wants to eat those things anyways. Have you ever ate one? They're disgusting. But I guess if you're starving, you'll eat them. So anyways, I think I'm going around in circles here, but we need to be prepared. If he were to come back right now, what would you be ready? I think in my devotion I put it like this: If Jesus came back at about 8, 9 o'clock on a Saturday night, would you be ready to go right then, or would you need a minute? You know, we don't always get that minute to pray. We don't get that minute to say, Lord, please forgive me. I want to be with you. And I told someone this yesterday, you know, I would rather live my life and not do certain things and find out I was wrong than live my life and do those certain things. Like, I'm just going to say, I would rather just live my life not drinking alcohol. I mean, I don't have to have it. It's not that big a deal. Honestly, between the money you spend and the headaches you get, it's not worth it. Not to me. Especially, what if you stand before God and he said, like, I don't drink. And if I stand before God and he said, well, you really didn't have to do that. You probably could have, but come on in anyway. You know, it doesn't say you have to drink to go to heaven. So I wouldn't be out anything, really. But what if you stood before the Lord? What if your time came and you stood before the Lord and he said, I told you in my word not to do that. And you just kept making excuses and making jokes, and you did it anyway. And he tells you, depart from me, I never knew you, because you did that. And you continued to do it, even though he sent person after person to tell you what was in his word. You might have flipped open to that part of his word on your own. And you said, well, that's not what that means. Okay, but what if you stood before him and you didn't make it to heaven over something silly as that? I would hate that. I would hate to know that there was a homeless family, whether we know they're homeless or not or whatever, somebody asking for $5 for a sandwich at the Walmart parking lot corner. And I felt in my spirit the Lord say, you need to give them $5, $10 for a sandwich. You need to go buy them a sandwich, or you need to do something. And I don't do it. And then I died that day. And I had to stand before the Lord, and he said, you didn't feed the least of these. That's in there too. If you read a little farther on, if you read a little farther on in chapter 25, he talks about that too. Now, do I think that'll keep you out of heaven? I don't know. But I'd rather just feed some people and find out when I got there that I didn't have to. You know what I mean? We should not get so bogged down in the things we know for a fact and just try to be good, you know? I watched a sermon this morning after I did this, actually, so it was kind of funny. And she said, what if Jesus came back right now and you was mad at somebody? And boy, I was mad at somebody. I'm not gonna lie. I was. And it wasn't like a deep, hateful anger. It was just like, I was a little mad. I mean, and I even prayed this morning. I'm gonna tell you, I even prayed this morning. I said, Lord, I know I ain't big mad and I'm gonna get over it, but I'm a little upset right now and they're wrong and I want you to fix that. Because it's not about the little thing, it's about the whole principle of the thing. And then I watched that sermon and she said, what if Jesus came back right now and you were mad? Are you mad over something small and petty? Are you really? Are you mad because you're just a little offended? And now, I'm not going to lie. I was mad this morning because my feelings were hurt. My feelings were hurt really bad. And I won't get totally into it, but I felt completely run over and unappreciated. I mean, my feelings were hurt pretty bad. But I didn't have like a hateful anger. But I was still mad because I was like, why you do that? But anyways, but she said, what if Jesus came back right now and you were mad? That would be one of them foolish virgins that didn't bring enough oil, wouldn't it? That's like, I don't even know. We think we're ready. We think we're prepared. But do we talk to God daily and ask him to search our heart? Ask him to show us if there's anything in there. After she said that on that sermon, I said, Lord, please forgive me. I said, Lord, help me if there's anything in there. I don't want it to keep. I don't want something stupid and petty to keep me out of heaven. I mean, really. What if Jesus came back right now and you were not ready? What if you got in a car to go get a chicken sandwich for lunch and you didn't make it back, and you were on the phone talking to your friend driving, complaining about somebody else, gossiping about somebody else, and you got T-boned by a semi, and that was it for you, and you didn't have any time? You were not prepared. We think of the big things. We think of the lying. We think of the stealing. We think of the alcoholic. We think of the drug addiction. We think of the prostitutes. But we don't think about being mad at somebody, just a little mad. We don't think about gossiping to people. We don't think about the things we don't even say. Because listen, saying it's bad, okay? Saying it's bad. But if you're keeping it locked in here and locked in here, but you still have those negative and ugly and hateful feelings, it's just as bad as if you said it. As far as the Lord's concerned with the state of your heart, it is just as bad. Now, you might not have to go apologize to another person because you didn't open your mouth and do this right here, but if it's in there and it's in here, you got to get that mess under the blood, because you will have to give an account for that. Do you think any of that's going to enter into heaven? No. And that's something I got to pray about just as much as everybody else. But we really, and that right there is exactly why I say, if we truly believe that the coming of the Lord, if we truly believe Jesus was coming back real soon, like so soon we could touch it, or if we really believed that we could not even be promised the next few minutes, if we really believe those things, we would do things so much differently. We would think different. We would be different. We would talk different. We wouldn't excuse a bad attitude. We wouldn't excuse stuff flying out of our mouths. We wouldn't excuse giving people ugly looks and things like that. I mean, we would do everything we could to make sure that we were prepared, that not only did we have oil in our lamp, but we had extra oil just in case. Because y'all, I think we're in the just in case area. You know what I'm saying? Like the extra oil, that's what we need to be making sure is full right now. Keep your lamp full. Go ahead, keep your lamp full, but you better have that extra oil hanging around. Okay? You need to be quick to be like, no, not doing this. And I'm talking to me too, because, ooh, she got me good this morning. That lady talking about what if Jesus came back right now and you were mad? And I wasn't even big mad. I was just like a little hurt mad. Like I knew I was going to get over it, but I was going to be mad for a minute. And how often do we do that? We're like, I'm just going to be mad for a minute because, you know. But you can't do that. You can't. Even if you still love the person you're mad at, you just can't do it, y'all. So, that's what I got for today. And I think that's a whole lot. I really do. I encourage you very much to read all of chapter 25 in Matthew, because it is, read it and really let it soak in, because it's very powerful and it's very appropriate for the time we're at. Keep your lamp full and keep that extra oil. Somebody else's relationship with the Lord isn't going to save you, okay? We can live the life in front of people, we can pray for them, and we can really hope that they develop their own relationship with God, that they give their heart to Him, but we can't make anyone do anything. And if you're living off of somebody else's anointing, somebody else's relationship with the Lord, you might scoot on through in some things, but heaven ain't one of them. It's not going to fly. That's all I got today. Read it, Matthew chapter 25. It's not super long, and it's very good. I love y'all. I hope everybody has a great day, and I'll see you next time.